Hello, friends. This is Giuliano, and coming to you with some crypto price charts. I'm going to show some Varus coin, VRSC, and Algorand. We got a request for Algorand. So if you have any requests, put them in the comments below, and I'll try and check it out on the next one. We're going to take multiple time frame combined view and see what we've got. Oh, I already did this video, but something went wrong technically, so we are back with more. We'll do it again because I love it. I love you, and I hope that this is enjoyable and helpful for you. So with the Varus price chart, we are certainly right up against this downtrending resistance, and looking for, this is a 3-day price chart. We're looking for that bullish MACD cross to get some activity into about the 2000 level at least, or take up some of this space on the 3-day, maybe up to the 200 moving average, top of the Bollinger Band area. Okay, so that's where we are. Previously, we were looking at this big red candle that dumped below the top of the support zone. So possibly some sort of capitulatory candle for the next little bounce we get, because the next candle is a nice green one to neutralize it, although you can see how it fights with the 1600 level, around that 1600 level. So getting and staying above the 1600 level is the important thing here for this price chart. Otherwise, it's going to dump down further. So yeah, looking for a bounce to the zone around here, and that would be very nice, but nothing's guaranteed. Currently getting rejected at this level and 20 period moving average. So yeah, we're going to see how this candle finishes out, but we're looking to gain some positive momentum here and move the price a bit higher out of this downtrend, local downtrend. So that's the 3-day price chart. We're going to hop over to the 1-day price chart and take a look at this and see where we're at. Yeah, so struggling to push higher, but we're getting resistance at the 55-day moving average and the top of the Bollinger Band. So will there be enough energy and positive momentum here to push higher into this area here? We're going to get an Ichimoku cloud coming, but that you have a few weeks to go before you really reach it horizontally here. Maybe you can claim some space up here before you have to fight it. So we'll see what this price does, but really it just needs to hold above these levels now, and then it can take up this space here. And also you want the RSI to stay above 50, otherwise you can get a turnaround and get a bit of bearishness over the coming days. So we'll see what happens here with the Varus price chart. Okay, let's move over to Algorand. There's Algorand right there, and we will check it out on the Aurochs terminal using the Binance price, long-term price, and this is the weekly price chart. And you can see that the price is trading below. Let's just bring these down a little bit. So yeah, price is trading below this kind of key weekly support resistance level. And so that's relatively weak. The thing that you have going for it, and on Algorand, thing that you do have going for it is a potential for a W type of bottom and get out of there. And the main thing would be to reclaim above this horizontal level. So that's what you've got. But generally on the weekly time frame, if we look more closely, you can see it getting rejected by the 20-week moving average, and a lot of attempts here to get over it. So is it going to come back down towards the lower end of the Bollinger Band and consolidate a bit more? That's a chance, but then you really want to be careful here because you're at lows of lows all time. And so just be aware of that for the Algorand price chart. It needs to get to higher levels to be safe. And if we look at it on the monthly, you can see, oh, this was a daily level. Let's get rid of this one. So yeah, you can see on the monthly, you're at the lower end of the Bollinger Band. It could go sideways for some time. You're in some negative momentum already, but you know, it could flip positive, but yeah, some sort of sidewaysness over time. But you really, again, you need to get back above towards this 20-month moving average, and then ideally get above it. And that's just the bottom line for this algorand price chart on the long term. And you definitely don't want to be breaking down more, but I get the sense you can go some sideways and some pushes. I don't know if you need to break down just yet, if at all. Maybe this is a huge bottom over a long-term price chart. If we take it more short-term on the daily, everything gets compressed. And yeah, we see some Ichimoku cloud resistance. You see on a daily level, this seems to be a key zone of support resistance, mainly been support. Now it is flipping into resistance, getting rejected at the 20-day moving average as well, making, you know, lower highs. These highs here were weaker than the price action here. You're getting chopped off at the top and you're just turning back over. Can't hold the 20-day moving average, get rejected 20-day moving average first, get rejected again 20-day moving average second. Now you're below that key level again. So again, maybe you're gonna make some sort of W bottom formation before getting back above and claiming this area and fighting this Ichimoku cloud and even the 200-day moving average coming down. So not necessarily positive, but you do have some potential for a flip into positive momentum. So there is that potential here on the daily, but so far it's looking on the weaker side of things. So yeah, I wait until I reclaim some of the space before really getting excited about it. That would be Algorand on multiple time frames there. And yeah, basically you're at a make it or break it level right here. You want to stay above this zone and kind of try and get higher. Otherwise, on the weekly here, you're just getting rejected at the 20-week moving average and you're coming back down to the lower end of the Bollinger Band. So see what this all looks like in a few weeks' time. That's Algorand for you. All right. Let's take a look at Solana against BTC. All right, when we look at Sol against BTC, it's a similar idea at this 20-week moving average. It did move into some positive momentum on a bullish cross, but how big is it going to be? It's tough. You know, you had a big positive momentum, big negative momentum. It needs to balance out. We're going to see that on some other charts too, possibly. But generally, the sense here is Solana is getting rejected horizontally getting rejected at these key levels here. And also getting rejected at this dynamically at this 20-week moving average. I mean, the price is not even touching it except trying to break it here, but it's like there's a whole zone. The energy of this 20-week moving average is rejecting the price action here. It's sideways, and it could actually be sideways for some time. But I do get the sense that overall the price action is weak enough that the next move on the bigger scale is going to be to the downside at some point. But yeah, it could keep going sideways. It's against BTC. Could chop around these levels for some time, but really, you know, I don't know. We're going to see if it can push higher and try and get to this horizontal level. But ultimately, it looks like it has reached its topping, and over some time it might go sideways and then down, or just continues down. So there you have it with these Solana prices, okay, on the weekly price chart. And if we look at the monthly, same idea. it's quite clear on the monthly here, it looks like, at least, getting rejected at these horizontal levels. Okay, you see the 20-month moving average is chopping the candles, so you only have wicks up above it because there's selling pressure above the 20-month moving average. And now as the 20-month moving average continues higher, the price going sideways is now below the 20-month moving average. So I get the sense that we're basically getting rejected at this 20-month moving average. And so over time, I do see the price coming back down to this zone here somewhere. Just seems to make sense. And that's Solana over time. Okay, that's the monthly price chart. And if we look at the daily, we will again, wow, get all squished up, but also we will see the force of the Ichimoku cloud. It's currently in the cloud. Who's to say? I mean, the price could continue chopping sideways, but it's in this cloud, and it's got some difficult resistance to pass. Okay, so yeah, it's not in a favorable zone. However, you know, you might argue that it has broken out of this downtrend energy. So yeah, maybe sideways down, sideways up, whatever. You know, maybe that's in the cards on the daily price chart. Maybe it does go test this level again, you know, towards the end of August. But maybe not. But if we look at the, yeah, like the momentum, we could get some continued negative momentum here for a little bit. So we'll see what happens on this Solana price chart on the daily. But there you go, Ichimoku Cloud, 200-day moving average is descending very strongly. So this is going to be some strong resistance, even if it does push higher. And then in that case, you probably get 3 peaks here, 1, 2, and then a third, and then you're dumping down further towards this zone again. So we'll see. Not looking super strong for Solana. You're at a key level of resistance, generally getting rejected by these price actions, relatively weak so far. But maybe it's just a consolidation before a further push higher, but that's less of a sense that I'm getting. But anyway, this is financial advice, and there you go. So that's some Solana thoughts so far. And then let's take MATIC. Let's do a MATIC price chart for Polygon. MATIC against BTC. MATIC had a nice push up over a course of some weeks, 6 weeks or so, and then getting rejected at the top of the top of the Bollinger Band. And now we're just tracing a potential downtrending price resistance action. So let's just watch this, because over time into September and October, let's see, is the price dumping down further below the Ichimoku cloud, or is it chopping around it and going to get over this downtrending resistance of price action? But I get the sense it's going to struggle a bit. It's going to have to go sideways and consolidate here. The best case is that it does it within and above the Ichimoku cloud. As you can see, previous resistance here. If that confluences with the Ichimoku cloud and you get support there, then you're good to go. Otherwise, there's a good chance you can get the price action back down here below the Ichimoku cloud, in which case, again, this is against BTC price chart, but overall, you'd like to see some consolidation and then a move higher rather than further dumping down, and that would show you some strength. There is also the possibility that we push higher and go towards these previous all-time highs and test that before then coming down and tumbling down further. But overall, I get the sense that you know, the energy of the momentum does need to balance out. So these peaks possibly getting lower than the previous peak, and the negative momentum kind of balancing out with positive momentum, and we'll see what happens. So that's the weekly price chart. On the monthly, okay, we get, that's really where the trend line came from. So on the monthly, I can see how, let's just keep this on the weekly for now. I can see how, look, if this isn't a bigger uptrend, okay, you've pushed the Bollinger Bands, expanded them to the upside, consolidated in, and tested them again a second time at the upper end. and get rejected and tumble hard. You get to the 20-month moving average, you even deviate below it, but it's clear that the price is wanting to be above that 20-month moving average and even looks to be above this price cluster action. So from there, I could see sideways choppy action, waiting for the 20-month moving average to meet it, and you sideways choppy action, and then you can get support off that 20-month moving average, maybe even you're wicking below, whatever, and then you can have your move higher. I think, and that's into 2023. So I think that is definitely something I'm looking for on this Polygon price chart. Yeah, let's see what happens with the price action, but that would be great. That would be super bullish. Now, if we take it down to a daily, yeah, so on the daily with MATIC, we're actually looking for this trend line here, this uptrending support line to get broken. And I do think it will. Oops, that's not what I'm looking to do. I do think it will get broken because we did see some, if we look here carefully, we did see some convergence here. It's bullish, but then I don't know what's happening here on the daily. If it's going to continue with the negative momentum, I mean, the likelihood is yes, we're going to continue with the negative momentum. You see, we've had some strong potential. I mean, you got one little purple candle here, or a purple histogram here, tiny little purple histogram to the negative. But if you're going to consider these two separate islands, I mean, you're just pushing it on that positive momentum. So relatively speaking, I mean, you could call this potentially finished move here and look for it to go sideways and then dump down. Now it's touching against the 20-day moving average again. So if it is going to pump higher, then it is, you're going to look for it in the coming days. You're going to look for this trend line to hold support and the price move higher. But yeah, I mean, even it could even break below this trend line and still move higher before coming down. There's no doubt these types of things happen a lot too. So just keep an eye on it. But you know, a big move has been done, and it looks like it's going to want to come down and test the Ichimoku cloud, the 200-day moving average, and try and stay above that. I think that would be your best case scenario if you're breaking down this uptrending support. So that's Polygon on a daily price chart. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's looking pretty good overall, like in terms of the weekly and the monthly. It's one of the stronger price charts. So yeah, there is the case where it can push higher, but there's also a very strong case where it just consolidates here sideways and maybe down, and we go from there. All right, that's the Polygon price chart. MATIC against BTC on multiple time frames. And I think the last one we're going to check is Ethereum. Let's go there. And if you have any requests, throw them into the comments section. So with Ethereum, I'm noticing we are already on the monthly. So monthly is relatively good. I mean, you tried to drop below the 20-month moving average, but you immediately got back into that range, that zone. So let's get this off the monthly. And recognize that, okay, well, we're still making lower highs, but there's a chance to consolidate here sideways and push higher on the monthly. Momentum wise, yeah, momentum wise, it could round out into some positive momentum. If we take the weekly, we are again trying to break this downtrending resistance energy, and it looks like we're doing it. We're trying to get, you know, stay above this kind of zone here of price, but regardless, even if it comes back down here and gets support on the Ichimoku cloud, I think you're in a good position. And I do think on the weekly, I do think it could do that. It could definitely, range sideways and hold the Ichimoku cloud support. My concern was going to be if you can't break above this downtrending resistance now, then that's concerning because you're going to come back deep into the Ichimoku cloud probably. So yeah, you want to pop over this and get over that. And I think on the weekly, if you're doing that, then you're in a good position on Ethereum, even if you pop over it and come down to the Ichimoku cloud. But you just want to be on the other side of this downtrend. And if we take it to the daily on Ethereum, we can see the price is struggling there at that downtrending resistance. It's well above an Ichimoku cloud. You're above the 200-day moving average now. The 20-day moving average has crossed above the 200-day moving average. You're in some negative momentum. How long will that last? We're also getting this bearish divergence on the RSI for the Ethereum. Lower highs, higher highs, higher highs, while at the same time higher RSI, lower RSI, lower RSI. So it's relatively concerning. Is this going to be a rejection zone? And what's going to happen here? Then you'll deviate above the 200-day moving average and come back down. But yeah, so you're going to want to watch this. You're really going to want to hold that 20-day moving average as support, and then you're going to want to have to push higher. So looks like there's potential to break down, but you're getting an Ichimoku cloud cross here, Kumo twist at the end of August, beginning of September on the daily. So maybe if you can hold yourself here into this zone, then you can push higher on the Ethereum price chart. But overall on the daily, it looks like it might need to consolidate a bit. So might not be in the favor of a push higher on against BTC currently. So we're going to see what ends up happening there on Ethereum. And I guess that's it for now. Watch it take the space on the other side, the right side of this downtrending resistance. See where it goes from there. All right. That's it for now. That's Ethereum. And I think I'm done. We'll come back with more on the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope it's been helpful. Wishing you a lot of love, peace, and happiness. Until next time, goodbye.